How to retire with nothing. Hey, Tawan Sammy here. Sunday evening at the club. Christmas in the house. It is December. Ready for Christmas holidays. Ready for vacation. Ready for New Year. And part two of my finance topic, how to retire with nothing. So last blog I talked about, how to be debt free. So I'll just recap that real quick, is to basically make sure that you don't overextend yourself. It's really difficult to do in today's society. We have to buy things, we're very materialistic. So you got to learn how to live minimalistic, not buy things. Number two, get rid of your credit card. Make a budget and stick to it. That's really important. You gotta stick to that budget. There we go. Sorry about that. You gotta stick to that budget. You gotta get rid of the credit card. Only buy things that you save up for. That's how to be debt free. Now, since you're debt free now, you can start paying yourself. What's important is to pay yourself. Now, to young people, what I say is put money away. As soon as you're you put money away for 50 years, you put money away when you're 18 to 25. $100 a month you put away, and then you never touch it until you're 55. That's $1 million right there. Compound interest. Just in a fixed savings account, not even a money manager account. You're earning 5% over 55 years. That's an incredible amount of money. I wish I'd listened to my parents when they told me to do that. But we're stupid as kids. Now, how do you fix that mistake when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, when you're in your 50s? Well, here's the trick. So when you start working, obviously you learn about retirement and all that stuff when you're in your 20s or whatever. So that's how you gotta be debt free at that stage in life, 25, 26. It's hard to do when you have student loans. I never had that. I never had to worry about that. So then the other thing is that once you start working full time, is to put as much money away, retirement plans, savings accounts, all of that stuff, and then also live frugally. If you can live frugally for your first, till you're about 35, you can retire really early. I made some financial mistakes early in life. I didn't save. I got married, bought 2 houses, got divorced, sold 2 houses, lost money. So I made some serious mistakes. And when I left Canada, I had to pay off a huge debt from my ex-wife and I, and the houses we bought and sold during the depression or recession. So, that was a 6-figure debt that I had to pay off. So I became debt-free, but I had no savings. I didn't have any debt, but I had no savings. So how do you go from being zero to hero? How do you do that? Well, I discovered passive income. That is really the key here, is passive income. You got to figure out a way to get paid for something monthly. How do you do that? There's so many things these days, online business, but that's what everybody does. You got to find that little niche. I'm not going to give you the answer. You got to figure out that yourself. There's so many things online, people talking about, becoming a web developer, digital nomad, all these different things, a coder, develop your own app. There's so many things. You got to find out what it is that you enjoy doing or you're good at. So what I did was, I was thinking about real estate here in Korea. My first idea was, okay, I'm going to rent out an apartment and then sublease it to foreign teachers. So the idea was here, because this is what I experienced, is that foreign teachers come here and they're given an apartment. Really tiny, really small, not very comfortable. And Westerners, we like to have a large space, large bathroom, large living room. We like to live in our houses. Koreans, they don't live in their houses. They stay there, change their clothes, shower, and then go out. They eat out, they socialize. So their houses reflect that. Westerners, we like to have a big bathroom. We like to have a separate shower from the toilet. So in Korea, if you've seen the videos, is that the shower is right over the toilet, like your bathroom is soaking wet. So it's not the traditional Western housing. So now teachers, after the first year contract, if they continue to stay and really like Korea, they want to get a bigger apartment. But they don't have money for key money, which is what is a thing here. Is you have to put down $5, $10, $20,000, which you get back at the end of the term, and then you also have to pay rent on top of that. That's called key money. Not like in the West where we pay first and last month's rent, but you pay a little bit less in rent. Whereas an apartment would cost you $1,000, $2,000 a month rent. Here, you put down $5,000, $10,000, and you pay a couple $100 a month, $500 a month in rent. So they don't have this key money, and they don't have money for furniture. Furniture is about $1,000. Bedroom set, living room set, kitchen, all that. People don't have money for that, especially investing that kind of money on a teacher's salary. If you're only going to be here a year or 2 years, that's not, logical. So I figured, okay, I'm going to furnish an apartment, pay the key money, 3-bedroom apartment, and I'm going to rent out 1 or 2 bedrooms. So my apartment, my first apartment, was 2 bedrooms, was about $700 a month. I furnished it and I rented it out. In the first 3 years, I rented it out 2 times, and for $900 flat rate, all inclusive. So the bed, the furniture, everything, the heating, electricity, everything except the toiletries and the food, and the sheets and pillowcases, blanket and stuff. So the tenant, my roommate, was paying for my rent, and I was making a little bit of money, like a couple bucks. So I figured, what if I invest in an apartment and then sublease it, but the niche market would be the teacher market, because they get paid $400 or $500 a month from their school if they want to live outside of the school's apartment. So if I charge them $700-800 a month for 2 people in an apartment, I'm making like $500-600 a month. I do that 10 times, I'm making $5,000 a month. So that was my first idea, but you need seed money for that, and that was the difficult part, because back then I wasn't making enough money to save to do that. You need a lot of money. You need the $5,000 key money. You need the $1,000 furniture money, and then you need money for rent until you rent the apartment, right? So you have to have capital. So that was the plan. I was looking at doing that about 5 years ago. But then I started thinking about, I need to do something a little bit different. What can I do right now? And then I was talking to my friend Richard, and he was suggesting, web designer, web master. And I was looking into that. And I was thinking about that, because that's something I can do online from anywhere in the world. But everybody's doing that. And then I was thinking about, online marketing, or, and all sorts of things that I could use that I had skills at. But the problem was, I'm lazy. And there's so many people out there doing that. So I was, again, trying to find the niche. So then I was thinking about, what are my experiences here in Korea? How can I use the experience that I've learned here in Korea over, back then it was like 8 years, over 8 years, to benefit myself and others. So I was thinking, it's so difficult to find a job here. It's not easy, right? Because the websites here are slapped together. There is no job search website that allows people to find a very specific job. You have to use Craigslist. So if you're looking for a job in the Gangnam area, so like one specific area, so English teacher, corporate. I'm not talking about school teachers. Those are easy to find. I'm talking about a corporate 1-hour job, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I want to work in a specific area, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 7 till 8 a.m. for 1 hour. I cannot search that. I have to look at every single job. If it's not listed in the post title on Craigslist or other websites that are out there, you can't find the job. It's very difficult. You're spending hours a day looking at every post, and that's not a good use of your time, because you want to be working, 6 till 7, 7 till 8, 8 till 9. That's the golden hours for teaching English. And then if you can do lunchtime, if you can find a lunchtime job, and then evening, 5 till 6, 6 till 7, 7 till 8, 8 till 9. Those are the golden hours, morning and evening, teaching English. And you don't want to be traveling like from one end of the city to the other. You want to group your jobs in one area. So I was thinking, I'm a teacher, I can develop a website for that. And so I approached my good friend at that time, which 8 years we've been friends. So we're going back in time like 2 years. 2 years ago, I came up with this idea, and she was like, "This is a great idea." So we started developing it, and we started working on the idea. We got in contact with some web developers. We actually got the website templated. It's all on paper, ready to go. And then she came up with another idea for her business, because she's a recruiter. And she said, "Why don't you come on board with this program?" So I was teaching, and she's very intelligent. She found that niche market. She's a recruiter. Trying to sell recruiting is very difficult. Like, you got to find the contract, say teaching English to Samsung. Then you got to recruit the teacher, and then you're only making a small margin on that. And it's a lot of work for a little bit of return, and your competition's heavy. So she thought, there's this niche market of pre-kindergarten teaching English with native teachers. Native meaning English, Western, American, Canadian, European teachers. There's Koreans doing it, but there's no program for native teachers. So we go to these. So she developed this program called Queenie Queenie. It's a junior education program that we go into the community centers at the shopping malls. They have these little community rooms, and they offer these little programs: art, music, cooking, things like that. And we offer the only English program with native teachers for pre-kindergarten, 2 years to 6 years old. And it's an interactive, fun play school, we call it. So that's been running for about 6 months now. We just started our winter session, our third session, and it's exploded. We're on track to have 1,000 students for the spring session next year. I was a trainer and teacher for the first 6 months, and now I'm the COO, and I'm doing mentoring, coaching, review, quality control, and marketing. So that's blown up. So I'm now equity partner in that company. So that's how I've done it. I've taken that experience that I had, and I've partnered with somebody, and we're going to use the profits from this business to invest in our website, in my website. She's going to be 50-50 with me. And we're going to build that. She's going to build it from the recruiter side. Now I'm going to build it from the teacher side. And we're going to monetize it. There's a whole big thing going on back there. I'm not going to get too much into detail about it. But I'm predicting by the end of 2019, so in a year, that I will be receiving enough passive income to the tune of about $5,000 a month that I will not have to work ever again. As long as the business is operating, I will have income coming in. So I don't have savings. I have income coming in every month, guaranteed. Not guaranteed, but pretty good. When the business is bought out by some big company, then there's the payday. There's the exit plan. And then, so that's business 1, business 2, and then in the back of my head, I have business 3. I'm not going to talk about it. It's involving, again, Korea's labor shortage that's going to occur in 20 years. And that's a plan I have coming up in about 5 years. So I'm going to be taking the monies from each one and investing in the next business. So an entrepreneur, I guess. I've never really been an entrepreneur. I've never really thought about it. I'm not CEO kind of material. I'm more of a doer. All right. So that's how you retire, is that you got to figure out what it is that you're good at, what it is that you enjoy doing, or something that you're interested in, and then figure out how to get paid to do that. All All right, so that's the first step. The second step is to find that niche market that you can what's the word, that you can exploit, that niche market that you know something about that nobody else does. So I've discovered a few of them, and this is what I'm going to do. So that's my story. All right, so anyway, I want to thank everybody who's watching and subscribing. Please subscribe, post some comments. I'd like to get a few more comments. You know, I got a lot of people looking at the videos, watching them, but I'd like a few comments, and if you do that, I really appreciate it. Sorry, what's going out of focus here all the time. I want to say thank you again to all my loyal viewers, and please subscribe, like, share, click that little bell button so you know the next videos are coming up. I'm on vacation, not vacation. I've reduced my workload for December, so I'm going to be working on, my next blog is going to be on the history of Itaewon. It's going to be a 3-part series. I'm going to be talking about that. So keep up, get ready to watch for that by the middle of December. Until then, Itaewon Sammy, living life out of here.